Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we will be continuing the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam from where we left. This is the third canto, ninth chapter, sloka number 32 onwards. Okay. So now the discussion or the prayers of Lord Brahma is over, and then now Maitreya Muni is speaking. Yada tu sarva bhuteshu darush sorry, now we see that the Supreme Lord is speaking, Bhagavan Vacha, no, that has come. Okay. Yada tu sarva bhuteshu darushvang kim ivastitam pratichakshita mam loko jahatarheva kashmalam. Translation: You will see me in all living entities as well as all over the universe, just as fire is situated in wood. Only in that state of transcendental vision will you be able to be free from all kinds of illusion. Purport: Brahma prayed that he might not forget his eternal relationship with the Lord during the course of his material activities. In answer to that prayer, the Lord said that he should not think of existing without a relationship with his omnipotency. That means the Lord should, no, Brahma should never think that he is existing without the mercy of the Lord, right? So, in translation again, we will read once. You will see me in all living entities as well as all over the universe, just as fire is situated in wood. Only in that state of transcendental vision will you not be free from all, will you be able to be free from all kinds of illusion. So, practically, if we are not able to see the Lord in every sphere of life, then we are in illusion only. So, knowledge means to see the Lord in every step of life, in every aspect of life. Okay. The example is given of the fire in wood. The fire kindled in wood is always the same, although the wood may be of different types. Similarly, the bodies within the material creation may be specifically different according to shape and quality, but the spirit soul within them are not different from one another. The quality of fire, that is warmth, is same everywhere, and the spiritual spark or part and parcel of the supreme spirit is the same in every living being. Thus the potency of the Lord is distributed all over his creation. This transcendental knowledge alone can save one from the contamination of material illusion. Since the Lord's potency is distributed everywhere, a pure soul or devotee of the Lord can see everything in relationship with the Lord, and therefore he has no affection for the outer coverings. That pure spiritual conception makes him immune to all contamination of material association. The pure devotee never forgets the touch of the Lord in all circumstances. Okay, text 33. यदा रहितमात्मानं भूतेन्द्रियगुणाशयैः स्वरूपेण मयोपेतं पश्यन् स्वराज्यं ऋच्छति. When you are free from the conception of gross and subtle bodies, and when your senses are free from all influence of the modes of material nature, you will realize your pure form in my association. At that time, you will be situated in pure consciousness. So when you're free from the conceptions of gross and subtle bodies, and when your senses are free from all influences of modes of material nature. So this I was just contemplating now. It is very difficult that no, we always remain in Krishna consciousness. So we may speak about Krishna consciousness, we may hear about Krishna consciousness, but when the what is it like when we are engaged in our daily activities, normal activities, we see that sometimes we are completely forgetting that we are devotees of the Lord. No, we are meant to act in a way to please the Lord and things like that. No, then our true natural color of contaminated consciousness comes out, and then no, we just act and react in a way which is no, completely non-devotional. So then we see that the senses are not completely Krishna conscious, or the senses are not completely freed from the modes of material nature. So no, we are able to theoretically or intellectually work on no Krishna consciousness, but then naturally the senses are tuned for material, tuned by the material modes of nature, so they react in a different way, right? So here the Lord is telling, by the practice of devotional service, no, over a period of time, so the senses will naturally change its nature. The senses will become completely spiritualized, and then no, we don't need to kind of read and then apply it. So the senses, when it becomes purified and spiritualized, naturally whatever we do will be no spiritual. So there will not be any material tinges at all. Okay. At that time, no, Lord is telling, you will realize your pure form in my association, and at that time you will be situated in pure consciousness. Purport: in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is said that a person whose only desire is to render transcendental loving service to the Lord is a free person in any condition of material existence. That service attitude is the Swarupa or real form of the living entity. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita also confirms this statement by declaring that the real spiritual form of the living entity is eternal relationship or eternal servitorship to the Supreme Lord. The Mayavad school shudders at the shudders. What does it mean? Shudders means tremble. Uh, okay, typically as a result of fear or revolution. Revolution. Okay, so it's like kind of a trembling kind of a, this one. So the Mayavad school shudders at the thought of a service attitude in the living entity, not knowing that in the transcendental world, the service of Lord is based on transcendental love. So why does the Mayavad school trembles by hearing the thought of even the service attitude of the living entity? Because they want to finish off um, all the symptoms of life, and they want to merge into the Brahman existence or the Brahma Jyoti. So they don't want to create any, like cultivate any new attitudes, new qualities in the living entity. They want to become nirguna, and then service attitude is a quality, and they want to finish that off, right? So they don't want to have any quality, they want to be quality less. So that's why they don't like this idea of developing service attitude towards the Lord and things like that. So they don't know that the service towards the Lord is also nirguna. It is beyond all the material modes of nature. So here it's very nicely mentioned in the translation. If we see that no, we become free from all the influences of modes of material nature. So once after getting free from all the like modes of material nature, what happens? So at the time we will get association of the Lord, and we'll start rendering service to Him. So then this service, what has been done to the Supreme Lord, is not within the modes of material nature, right? So that's a thing, that's a bouncer for the Mayavadis. For them, any activity means it is within the three modes of nature, and anything that is beyond three modes of nature, that means just go and merge in the Brahma Jyoti. No, they cannot accept anything else apart from that. So that's where the bouncer is for them. Anyways, transcendental loving service is never to be compared to the forced service of the material world. In the material world, even if one is under the conception that he is no one's servant, he is still the servant of his senses under the dictation of material modes. Factually, no one is the master here in the material world, and therefore, the servants of the senses have a very bad experience of servitude. They shudder at the thought of service because they have no knowledge of the transcendental position. In the transcendental loving service, the servitor is as free as the Lord. The Lord is Swarat, or fully independent, and the servant is also fully independent or Swarat in the spiritual atmosphere, because there is no forced service. So it's a loving, transcendental loving service. It is not a forced service. So nobody is like forced to do anything. No, here everyone is forced to do things. So we cannot keep working like n number of hours. So we have to take rest. So we are forced to do that, and we cannot keep sleeping. Also, we are forced to wake up, and no, we are forced to eat. If we don't eat, like we will not have the energy, and we may even die. So in this way, like everywhere we see that there is a force that is there. No, we must do it, otherwise it will not work out like that. Okay, so both are Swarat, the living entity is fully independent, and the Lord is also fully independent in the spiritual atmosphere. Okay, there the transcendental loving service is due to spontaneous love. A reflected glimpse of such service is experienced in the service of the mother unto the son, a friend's service unto the friend, or the wife's service unto the husband. These reflections of service by friends, parents, or wives are not forced but due only to love. Here in the material world, however, the loving service is only a reflection. The real service, or the service in Swarupa, is present in the transcendental world in association with the Lord. The very same service in the transcendental love can be practiced in devotion here. So whatever best, or whatever things that comes closer to the pure service, no, that is there, that has been mentioned, no, a mother's love towards the child and things like that. But then still, no, that is just a faint reflection of the pure Swarupa, or the pure service attitude which is present in the spiritual world. So this is just a very, very faint reflection of that particular aspect, right? So the real service attitude, or the Swarupa, is there in the spiritual world, where in the association of the Lord we will be able to gain that. Okay, this verse is also applicable to the Jnani school. The enlightened Jnani, when free from all material contaminations, namely the gross and subtle bodies, together with the senses of the material modes of nature, is placed in the Supreme and is thus liberated from material bondage. The jnanis and the devotees are actually in agreement up to the point of liberation from material contamination. But whereas the jnanis remain pacified on the platform of simple understanding, the devotees develop further spiritual advancement in loving service. So here Prabhupada is mentioning how the jnanis and the devotees have they tread the same path till the point of liberation. At the point of liberation, the jnanis are peaceful and they have attained their goal. But then the devotees of the Lord, they still further progress. So, wherein after liberation, they progress to the path of service to the Supreme Lord. Right? So, that's a further journey. So, both of them have a common path till the point of liberation. And after the point of liberation, the jnanis stay back, and then the devotees progress further. So the devotees develop a spiritual individuality in their spontaneous service attitude, which is enhanced on and on up to the point of Madhurya Rasa, or transcendental loving service, reciprocated between the lover and the beloved. So now we see that, so like at the point of liberation, one understands that he has nothing to do with the material body, and he has nothing to do with the material things and material things. So he is completely spiritually aware, and jnanis reach up to that point. So but after that, the devotees, they like they are also able to experience this liberated position, but then they are attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, so they want to render service to the Lord. So then dasya rasa comes. So then after that comes a sakya. They develop friendship with the Lord. Then after that there is this one vatsalya. They develop parental affection towards the Lord. And then finally the topmost of all the rasas, that is madhurya rasa, so which is the like uh, loving service reciprocated between lover and the beloved. So that is the topmost of all the spiritual relationships one can have with the Supreme Lord, right? So That's the limit or summit to which a devotee can actually travel. So, but the Mayavadis, they settle at the point of liberation. So they don't travel further. So they don't have this Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya and things like that. They have only Shantarasa. They just, not even Shantarasa. It's like they just get to the point of liberation. That's all. Okay, text 34. Nana karma vithanena praja bhavihi shishikshataha natma vasidatyas amimsthe varshiyan madanugraha. Since you have desired to increase the population innumerably and expand your varieties of service, you shall never be deprived in this matter, because my causeless mercy upon you will always increase from all time, for all time. So this is one amazing aspect. Material things, you take any material thing, so any vegetable or a fruit, we keep it for some time, it will actually fade off and dry off and things like that. And even our own bodies, we see that as we grow old, our bodies become very weak, and then like old age, like we have seen what happens in the old age, uh, we also become like a dry fruit, from fruit to dry fruit. So in this way, like everything in the material world deteriorates, right? But then the mercy of the Lord, being spiritual, it increases for all time. Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam. Right? So the mercy of the Lord always increases because it is spiritual. Spiritual things means it enhances over a period of time, and material thing means it deteriorates over a period of time. Right? Okay, purport. A pure devotee of the Lord, being cognizant of the fact of the particular time, object, and circumstances, always desire to expand the number of devotees of the Lord in various ways. Such expansion of transcendental service may appear to be material to the materialist, but factually they are expansions of the causeless mercy of the Lord towards the devotee. Plans for such activities may appear to be material activities, but they are different in potency, being engaged in the satisfaction of the transcendental senses of the Lord. So this is an amazing thing. And this month we are doing the book distribution month, and actually we should be doing book distribution all the time. So, but this month specifically, like we are focusing on this, and we see that here Prabhupada is writing, the devotees always desire to expand the number of devotees, right? So that's the that's the aim, or that's the desire of the devotees. And then here Lord is telling, for your desire, I will shower my mercy, and that will keep on increasing over a period of time, right? So you will be able to do this service more and more better over a period of time. Text 35. Vishim adhyam na bandnati papiyam stvam rajo gunah yanmano mayi nirbadda prajaha samshrajato pite. You are the original Rishi, and because your mind is always fixed on me, even though you will be engaged in generating various progeny, the vicious modes of passion will never encroach upon you. Oh man, like what a amazing benediction. So where Lord Brahma will be engaged in the creation, he may have to create so many different kinds of people and deal with so many kind of different kinds of people. But the Lord says you will never fall under illusion. Basically, you will never fall under modes of passion. So that's an amazing this one. Brahma is the in charge of mode of passion, and he gets a benediction that you will not be touched by the modes of passion. It's an amazing thing, right? So it's like if I'm going to work with fire, and if I have got a benediction that fire will never burn me, so then it's an amazing thing. So like I will no I can work, but then I'll not be affected by the fire. In the same way, Lord Brahma has to deal with the mode of passion, and he has got a benediction that mode of passion will not encroach upon him, right? Really amazing benediction. Purport. The same assurance is given to Brahma in the second canto, chapter 9, verse 36. Being so favored by the Lord, Brahma's schemes and plans are all infallible. If sometimes Brahma is seen to be bewildered, as in the third canto, he is bewildered by the seeing the actions of the internal potency, that is also for his further advancement in transcendental service. So that is like it is only in the in the matter of, like, Brahma has this benediction that he will never get bewildered. Even in spite, Prabhupada very mercifully clarifies here, even in spite this benediction, if we find that he is bewildered sometimes, it is only for his purification, and it is personally orchestrated by the Lord. It is not that Brahma falls under illusion just like all of us fall under illusion. No, his level is completely different, right? Okay, Arjuna is found to be similarly bewildered. All such bewilderment of the pure devotees of the Lord is specifically meant for their further advancement in knowledge of the Lord. Okay, we see that when Arjuna fell under bewilderment, so what ensued after that is, Arjuna got transcendental knowledge and he got a favor from the Lord. So the pure devotees of the Lord, sometimes they may appear to fall, but then every fall, gives them an immense amount of knowledge, spiritual knowledge and strength. Okay, text 36. ज्ञातो हम भवतात्पद्य दुर्विज्ञेयोऽपि देहिनां यन्मां त्वं मनस्से मन्यसे युक्तं भूतेन्द्रिय गुणात्मभिः. Although I am not easily knowable by the conditioned soul, you have known me today because you know that my personality is not constituted of anything material, and specifically not of the five gross and three subtle elements. So here, the Lord is giving a certificate to Lord Brahma. He's telling that it's very, very difficult to know the Supreme Lord. So, but then Brahma is really amazing. He performs such a tapasya, and Lord is telling, now we are able to know me. And what is the meaning of knowing the Lord? So here the Lord is detailing it out. He's telling that you know that I'm beyond the material elements. No, I'm beyond the five gross elements and three subtle elements. I'm beyond all these things. Just to know that the Lord is Narayana Paro Abhyaktad. So that is also very, very powerful sign of knowledge, right? So this is actually meaning knowledge. Knowledge means to know spirit different from matter. No, that's called knowledge. And here we see that Lord is giving the certificate to Lord Brahma that you are knowledgeable. No, it's not that easy for people to become knowledgeable, but you have done it. No, you have successfully done it. Okay. Purport. Knowledge of the supreme absolute truth does not necessitate negation of the material manifestation, but understanding of spiritual existence as it is. To think that because material existence is realized in forms, therefore spiritual existence must be formless, is only a negative material conception of spirit. This we discussed yesterday also. This aspect of negating something and arriving at negating material things and arriving at spiritual things. So that's a very, very shallow what is it formula to understand the spiritual things. No, we cannot just derive at some spiritual things by negating some material things. So like spiritual things is completely different, no, in its composition. So how can we just negate? No, material things have form, that means spiritual things doesn't have a form. So rather, no, Krishna gives the example of yes, it is opposite. The material and spiritual things are opposite. But then what kind of opposite? No, he gives the example of the Ashwatha tree in the 15th chapter. So Urdhva Mula Madashakam. No, so this in this shloka we can understand. Yes, the tree in the bank of the river, no, which is standing just next to a water reservoir. No, it stands erect, but then the reflection in the water is exactly the opposite. Exactly the opposite means the original tree has a form, the reflection doesn't have a form. No, the reflection also has form, right? So it has some other opposites. No, it is opposite in its growth. It is like the root is in the upwards and the branches are down. So no, that's an opposite phenomena, right? So it is opposite means not opposite everywhere. So we cannot just take that this one, oh, the spiritual material things are completely opposite to the spiritual things. So if I negate all the things, all that is material, I'll get spiritual. That's a useless logic. No, we cannot go by that, right? So even in our own experience, we have as this tree on a bank of a river. Like it may we may tell that the reflection is opposite, but then it is not opposite in every single way. There are some opposites are there, and there are some similarities also there, right? So that's how we get illusion. So in this way, this idea of negating material things and arriving at spiritual idea is actually bogus. No, we cannot accept that idea. And the Mayavad philosophy is primarily based on this idea, right? Okay. The real spiritual conception is that spiritual form is not material form. It is not made of matter. Brahma appreciated the eternal form of the Lord in that way, and the personality of God had approved of Brahma's spiritual conception. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna condemned the material conception of his body, um, a conception that arises because he is apparently present like a man. The Lord may appear in any of his many spiritual forms, but he is not materially composed, nor has he any difference between the body and self. Right. So this is um, like the Lord Himself says that Naham Prakasha Sarvasya, that is one thing He mentions, and then Avajanti Mamuda Manusum Tanumashrita. So when like I come in this human form, the people think the foolish people think that I have also come just like them, no, taking some material qualities and then coming in. So it's not. So I have not come by material qualities, right? Okay. So the Lord may appear in any of his many spiritual forms, but he is not materially composed, nor has he any difference between body and self. This is the way of conceiving the spiritual form of the Lord. And this may appear to be very simple, but then Krishna mentions Janma Karma Chame Divyam Yevam Yo Viti Tattvataha Tyaktva Deham Punarjanmi Naiti Mamiti So Arjuna. So just by understanding the Lord is not composed of anything matter, he is completely spiritual, we will go back to the spiritual world. That's as powerful an understanding, right? Text 37. Tubhyam mat uh, vichikitsayam atma me darshito bahihi nalena shalile moolam pushkarasya vichinvataha. When you were contemplating whether there was a source to the stem of the lotus of your birth, and you even entered into the stem, you could not trace out anything. But at that time, I manifested my form from within. Purport. The personality of Godhead can be experienced only by His causeless mercy, not by mental speculation or with the help of the material senses. No, Brahmaji himself confirms in one of the other prayers. He says, Jnane prayasa udapasya namantaeva. He says that just give up this speculative knowledge wherein you are trying to understand the origin of the universe, origin of the life, and things like that. Just give up this no speculative knowledge. No, just take up Krishna consciousness. Namanta eva. No, just offer your obeisances and prayers to the Supreme Lord. By His causeless mercy, you will be able to understand the spiritual vision, right? So that's something Lord Brahma says. So here also, this very similar thing is mentioned here. The personality of Godhead can be experienced only by His causeless mercy, not by mental speculation or with the help of material senses. Very powerful statement. So this causeless mercy, we have to depend on the causeless mercy of the Lord. We have to beg and pray the Lord for the mercy, and that is how we'll be able to do devotional service and be able to perceive the Lord, right? Okay, material senses cannot approach the transcendental senses, the transcendental understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can be appreciated only by submissive devotional service. When he reveals himself before the devotee, only by love of Godhead can one know God and not otherwise. So now it appears to be too many different things. So first it is mentioned he can be appreciated only by submissive devotional service, and then he has to reveal himself before the devotee, and then only with love of God we'll be able to know him, or otherwise not. So like which one is correct? Actually, everything is correct. So we need to develop the loving service attitude towards the Lord, and when this loving service attitude, when it when we are trying to cultivate this, and then we are submissively following the rules and regulations given by the acharyas and Krishna himself, and then no, we are depending on the mercy of the Lord. So all of it is there. No, we have to endeavor to cultivate love of Godhead and to cultivate good devotional qualities, and then we have to render submissive devotional service, and then we have to anticipate for the mercy of the Lord. All these three things are very, very important actually. Without this, it is not possible to understand the Lord. Okay, the personality of Godhead cannot be seen with the material eyes, but he can be seen from within by spiritual eyes, opened by the ointment of love of Godhead. As long as one's spiritual eyes are closed due to the dirty covering of matter, um, one cannot see the Lord. But when the dirt is removed by the process of devotional service, one can see the Lord without a doubt. Brahma's personal endeavor to see the root of the lotus pipe failed, but when the Lord was satisfied by his penance and devotion, he revealed himself from within with no external endeavor. So, something got stuck in my throat. Anyways, so here we see that the Lord is revealed only by the causeless mercy of the Lord and not by one's personal endeavor, right? So not the personal endeavor itself is not all in all. And in this month of Kartik, we had this Damodar Leela. It has been glorified a lot. And in the Damodar Leela, we saw that when Mother Yashoda was trying to bind, there is always two fingers short. The rope would always fall short 2 fingers. And why is it so? It is because the because of two very important factors. So any devotional service can only be completed, with our endeavor towards the Lord and to please the Lord, our favorable attitude to serve and please the Lord, and then the favorable disposition of the Lord to be pleased with us, right? So, no, it is the Lord's mercy and our endeavor to please the Lord. Both of these things are very, very important. No, both these things have to have a handshake, and that is when it will be possible, for us to, really have really perfect our devotional service. So, in this month, I request devotees to try your best to do some devotional service in the form of connecting people to the Bhagavad Gita, and we will try to organize various programs, various this one. So one is like we can call our own personal contacts and then encourage them to take take a book or even help us. So we are going to say that no, we have all over the world. We have desire. The ISKCON has taken a goal of distributing 2 million Bhagavad Gitas, no, all over the world in this particular month, and then all over the world the devotees are trying to do some things towards this direction. So we can even call up to people and say that we have such a goal, and can you help us in some way? no so we don't ask like, no, can you take a Bhagavad Gita? So rather than that, no, we ask like, can you help us in some way, right? So if we actually do that, so then people maybe no, they may help us in some way, like no they may give us some direction, and when they get involved, so they may also take a Bhagavad Gita, right? So in this way it will be very, very nice to have this kind of this one. And we are also trying to see if we can organize some Gita overview programs. Like in one session we are going to give we are planning that we will be able to give some kind of an overview or some kind of a taste for Bhagavad Gita, and then we will try to request them towards the end of the session that no, why not you pick up some Bhagavad Gita, or even help us in this no mission of reaching so many Bhagavad Gitas to the people. So it is the month on which the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, and it is really very wonderful and a sacred mission. If we can do this thing, right? So we will try to do this. Uh, okay, so there is some question. Um, had attended the morning session, had few questions on book distribution. Um, like that is gifting means I donate for Bhagavad Gita or other books and get it delivered online to their address. Can it be a surprise gift to someone? Yeah, it can be. And also we can, like many people have the desire to do Shastradhan. So in this month, we also collect a lot of Shastradhan, where we, last year, we went to some government schools and some places like that, and we distributed a lot of Gitas. And sometimes we can go to Anath Ashram or some other places also, and we can distribute Gitas. So we can collect donations from devotees, or some people who are willing or not willing, like no, but they're willing to donate. So we can actually take Lakshmi from them, and we can donate. We can distribute Gitas in needy places, and then okay, that person or family may not value it also. I'm okay with the rejection, but books should not be dishonored, so that's okay. No, that's expected. In many places, the no, generally, at least in India, like a spiritual book like this, they would at least keep it in a nice shelf or in a respectable way. They would not just throw it off. So that will not happen. So we can do that. And then donation means educating and requesting people in person or online and request them to come to the site and buy. So as of now, what we are thinking is that we will call up people, especially first starting with our own personal contacts and acquaintance and relatives and things like that and all. So morning, our Achyuta Prabhu was mentioning one nice idea, for relatives. If children actually speak up, so there's like it's like. What is it? This is kind of, in this month we have an assignment of speaking about Gita to at least 5 people or 10 people or 20 people, whatever it is, we can say. And then, no, can you be one of the listeners? So can you help in achieving this, this task of this one? So when children speak, like no, they will hear. That's one nice way of communicating to the relatives. That's an amazing idea. And also for other people, like we can actually say that we are on a sacred mission of distributing 2 million this one Bhagavad Gita's all around the world. And no, you can help us in some way in this sacred activity. So then people may join in. It will be very nice. So we have, as of now, physically, uh, I'm not sure how much physical book distribution would happen. In other years, we would set up stalls at different places, and then we would go to different places. Even sometimes we used to distribute in the traffic signals and things like that. But in this year, no, we don't want to risk the devotees' health and things like that. No, there are still some devotees are going out, but then for the mass of the people. So we have set it up this website, store.iskonwhitefield.org, so where devotees can come and anybody can come and place an order, and the books will be dispatched to their homes by courier, by speed post. So that's the idea that we have, and we can actually talk to people, and then we can just send the link, and it's up to them, like if they can buy. And we can say that, like no, you can spread the word around, and it'll be helpful for us and things like that. So in this way, we can actually help achieve a bigger goal. And also, like we have in the Kurukshetra, on the Mokshada Ekadashi, on the day on which the Gita was spoken, there is going to be a Maha Yajna that is going to be performed. And whoever is participating in this book marathon, so all their what is it, names will be taken for the yajna. And it's so auspicious, right? So where Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita in Kurukshetra, and on the tithi on which the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, so this yajna is going to happen. It's really, really very auspicious, right? So we can be part of that, by taking part. And we can also be like, whoever is buying Bhagavad Gita in this month, we will be sending their names and like uh, details to this yajna also, right? Okay. So we will have to position all these things in a nice way, and then present it to people, so you can be one of them, to be part of this yajna. Okay, Pushpa Mataji is asking, can we also join this marathon? Yes, all of us should do. No, we are all benefiting from Srila Prabhupada's teachings, and this is a nice time when we can actually distribute these teachings to everyone, right? So this is really, really very good opportunity, right? So from uh, tomorrow on, we will also read something about no Srila Prabhupada's like desires on the book distribution, and then some aspects like that. So it'll be really very interesting, and probably we will just start off with a little bit. No, I have a book. Mhm. ठीक है. So I will get the book, and then we will start it off from tomorrow. So that will be nice. No, that will give us a lot of enthusiasm for distributing books in this month. So please think, all of you also can think in what ways you can actually help us, help us nail, like, no, we are all a team. So what ways we can actually achieve this goal. So for us, we have taken the goal of 12,000 Bhagavad Gita's or 24,000 book points. So there are different book points are there. So the Bhagavad Gita's are considered to be 2 points per book. So in this way, like overall the world, no, we actually like calculate a score. So that also gives us some enthusiasm and inspiration to do a lot of this one. So 12,000 Bhagavad Gitas is what we are thinking about. So it will be really, really wonderful if all of us can do something. No, it can become a very big, very big endeavor, and all over the world, we will have, we will have, no. What is that? Everyone is doing, this thing at the same point in time. It starts tomorrow. It starts from now. Like we can, from now onwards, we can do. So we have just launched in the morning. So from now onwards, we can actually start doing it. Okay, so thank you all very much for participating, and we will meet again tomorrow, right? So I'll prepare with some portions from tomorrow onwards. We will also read something about book distribution, right? Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.